Parents in Florida are angry because the geniuses who run their school district have outlawed recess. A Hispanic group is offering $5,000 to any audience member who calls Donald Trump a racist on air when he hosts Saturday Night Live. And our Palestinian peace partners are promising that their mommies will drink Jewish blood. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr and the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. Folks, welcome back. I got some doozies for you today. Let's begin here with the Hill.com item. A Hispanic advocacy group is offering $5,000 to any audience member who calls GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump a racist on air when he hosts the upcoming episode of Saturday Night Live. NBC's refusal to drop Trump has put us in the position of dropping $5,000 of cold hard cash on anyone who will yell out, "Trump is a racist," during the live broadcast of Saturday Night Live, said Santiago Cejudo, an organizer from the Deport Racism PAC, on Wednesday. We're hoping the $5,000 will help people on set or in the studio audience find the bravery to speak out loudly and help focus the national conversation on what we need, and that we need to deport racism, not people, he added. It's 2016 and Trump needs to hear that you can't win the White House without the brown vote, unquote. My friends, what I see on Facebook is people calling Hispanics animals, and I don't like that. I don't like that. What these Hispanics are doing is destroying civil discourse, destroying a civil society, introducing the justice of the unwashed mob on national television. However you feel about the immigration issue, it's not a racial issue. Hispanic, Mexican is not a race. Hispanics, the last I saw, are not a race unto themselves. This has nothing to do with race. I explained this once here on the air, and I explained it to someone in my hometown. If America's problem was anywhere from 11 to 30 million illegal Swedes, then police would be pulling over blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. Nothing to do with race. Has to do with people destroying our security, overrunning our borders illegally, being here illegally, using our resources illegally. That's what this is about. This is about rule of law. So morons like Santiago Cejudo and his folks at the Deport Racism PAC, racism has nothing to do with it. They're completely off topic. It's a matter of rule of law. Because if there is no rule of law, then we could begin hunting and killing Hispanics who come here from Mexico, right? And we won't do that because we're civilized people. And we have rule of law. So when some moron stands up on Saturday night and screams racist, you'll know, first of all, racism has nothing to do with it. Second of all, he's only doing it to make $5,000. And third, it's coming from an advocacy group representing a third world country where corruption is rampant, where hygiene is just about unheard of, and they're storming our gates demanding that we give. We give them everything: access to our health care, welfare, food stamps, jobs, you name it. Free cell phones, voter registration cards. This is the unwashed masses of the third world storming into our house and demanding things. No, doesn't fly. Doesn't fly here in America. We either have rule of law or we don't. And if we don't, then anything goes. Very distressing. Speaking of very distressing, item from Reuters. Temples and synagogues affiliated with the nation's largest Jewish movement should take specific steps to embrace transgender people, a U.S. conference of Reformed Jews urged on Thursday in approving a groundbreaking resolution. In a resounding voice vote, Reform Judaism embraced some of the most far-reaching policies for transgendered men and women seen among any of the nation's mainstream religious organizations. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender rights advocates said. The resolution calls for congregations to offer cultural training for religious school staff, sermons on transgender issues, and gender-neutral restrooms where feasible. The measure generated little discord among the 1.5 million North American Jews affiliated with the Union for Reform Judaism, which is holding a biennial conference in Orlando, Florida. We have gay, lesbian, the whole rainbow members on our board of trustees, said Ken Snitz from Temple Israel in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're very open and supportive. We don't just say it, we practice it. The Episcopal Church and the United Church of Christ also have adopted positions in support of transgender issues. Yet the Reformed Jewish Movement's policy goes further by listing specific actions to promote inclusion. Unquote. My friends, it's so interesting that the Reform movement is inclusive. They're bringing everybody in. They want everybody included except, God. God can sit down and shut up and mind his own business, the Reform movement says, because he's not in charge. They are in charge. He didn't write the Bible. A bunch of old geezers who lived a long time wrote the Bible, and since it was written by old geezers, then the idiots today can change it in any way they want. So if God has an opinion on transgender, on gay, on lesbian, he can shut his mouth, Reform says. Well, folks, if you read the Bible, you'll see that God used to kill people who said what they're saying. He used to murder people by the thousands for doing what they're doing, which is revolting against God himself. And I think they're revolting too. But they're taking God out of the religious equation, which means they're fools, which we already knew. Which means they worship themselves. They themselves are the final arbiters on divine law, which kind of sort of makes them idol worshipers, right? Idolaters. Jews, religious Jews, have long dismissed Reform Judaism. It's a disgrace. It's nothing. It's beneath our contempt. It's beneath the dignity of anybody to be part of it. And they are now taking it to a new level, showing that they are just about not Jewish at all. And it's a disgrace. And it's a Chilul Hashem. And it's Thursday. And it's Riell Truth. Hey, I'm just getting started. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell behind the microphone or in front of the laptop, however you want to view it. I'm going to use an obscenity. I ask your forgiveness in advance. I have to. There's no way around it. Here we go. You ready? Hillary Clinton. I apologize. I don't mean to shock people, but she's still running for president, and there are still people in America brain damaged enough to actually vote for her. And so I've got to play videos like this one, Bill Whittle, Afterburner, talking about how Hillary Clinton's lawlessness is getting ignored by the leftist media and others. Here's Bill Whittle.
If you're a progressive and the low point,
That's Bill Whittle, my friends. You will find him on YouTube, and he's worth looking for because each of his videos is sharp, to the point, and intelligent. Item from Israel National News. The Twitter account of left-wing Israeli newspaper Haaretz was briefly hacked by Arab extremists on Tuesday, who used it to post a slew of tweets threatening to murder Israelis before Haaretz finally took back control of its account. Hackers referenced the spate of knife attacks by Palestinian terrorists against Israelis in a series of often graphic posts in poorly spelled Hebrew and English, as well as in Arabic. The posts were later taken down by Haaretz. The mothers of our martyrs will drink the blood of your soldiers and settlers, it added, featuring blood-drenched pictures of past Israeli prime ministers, as well as a picture of former British Foreign Secretary Arthur James Balfour, crudely altered to resemble a vampire. Another post, too graphic to show, threatened Israeli Jews to leave or be stabbed with a knife, and a message superimposed onto photos of Israelis wounded in stabbing attacks. Unquote. My friends, when I was in school, there was an unwritten rule. You didn't insult anybody's mother. You just didn't do it, because if you did, you knew it was all-out war, right? Well, I would never dream of insulting Palestinians' mothers, and I don't need to. They're telling me themselves, the Palestinians themselves are proclaiming to the world, our mommies drink human blood. Well, that's not surprising, since Palestinians in general are awash in human blood, usually Jewish, sometimes Christian, and if there are no Jews or Christians around, they kill each other. So there is always plenty of blood to go around. You remember that picture from several years ago about that punk on the second floor of a building holding up his hands to show they were covered in the blood of an American? That's what Palestinians do. And so my question is not, why do Palestinians act like animalistic murdering Nazis? Because I know why. It's not a mystery. The mystery is why any American, and I don't care what religion he or she is, why would any American want to send a nickel to the Palestinians, knowing that they are terrorists and supporters of terror, and Nazis, and murderers, and their mommies are blood drinkers, and America would support this? Why? Why would any American want to support terrorist murderers whose mommies drink blood? Well, I haven't come up with an answer to that. But hey, this is a call-in show. If you have an answer, call me. Tell me. I love to learn. Item from the Catholic Herald. From Manila to Mexico City, Catholic priests are leading a new and sometimes spectacular crusade against demonic possession. Exorcism has become so popular worldwide that now it's not only performed on tormented individuals, but also on entire nations. A few months ago, Mexico, the second largest Catholic country, was exorcised of its demons in an unprecedented rite of exorcismo magno, performed in secret in the city of San Luis Potosi. On May 20th, the renowned Spanish exorcist Father Jose Antonio Fortea, author of the book El Exorcismo Magno, joined Cardinal Juan Sandoval Iniguez, Archbishop Emeritus of Guadalajara, and a cadre of trained exorcists to perform the maximum type of exorcism reserved for nations and dioceses on the Mexican Republic itself. Father Fortea explained Exorcismo Magno is, quote, useful in situations in which great violence has been unleashed in a country, unquote. My friends, I am far from an expert on exorcism. From what I see in the movies and on TV, the idea is to drive out demons, to make demons scatter. Well, it's working. Well, it's partially working. I mean, they're doing an exorcism on all of Mexico, and they're not causing demons to scatter, but they are causing millions of Mexicans to scatter. They are fleeing. They're being cast out, if you will, of Mexico. They're being exorcised from Mexico, which is great for Mexico. It sucks for America, because all those Mexicans who are being cast out like demons are coming here. And they're bringing drugs, and crime, and disease, and illiteracy, and welfare recipients. They're bringing all gang rape. They're bringing all the evils in the world. And so, do I believe in exorcism? Well, I see in Mexico they're exorcising demons, and I see people coming here from Mexico committing the most horrifying crimes. So maybe there's something to this exorcism business after all. Item from clickondetroit.com, Dateline, Hamtramck, Michigan. The Polish flocked to Hamtramck in the 1900s, and evidence of the city's Polish roots remain. However, over the last few decades, a new wave of immigrants, primarily from the Middle East, South Asia, and Southeastern Europe, has dramatically changed the face and culture of this community. Now, the Hamtramck City Council is going to reflect that diversity. We're very proud and we're very happy for that achievement. What we have done in this city for our city, said Jamal Al-Turki, a voter. Voters gave Abu Musa and Anam Mia another term in office. Saad Al-Masmari was elected for the first time. Now 4 of the 6 city council members will be of the Muslim faith. My friends, I'll repeat that. 4 of the 6 city council members are now Muslim. Unquote. So the question is, when will the first beheading take place? When will the first stoning take place? When will the first thief have his hand cut off? Because all those things are just ducky with Muslims, and now, in this city at least, Muslims are in charge. God help us. We'll be back.
Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source of certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to HappyHens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At HappyHens.biz, we love HappyHens.biz. Or call us at 303-829-5948. H&H evacuation and health reminds us that thousands of children are afflicted in America every year. Most of these cases are quickly resolved, often thanks to tips from caring and observant individuals. Those cases not quickly solved can have tragic consequences. If you have any information that could lead to the location of a missing child, please call the authorities. Your call could save a child's life. This message is from H&H Evacuation and Heaven. They're on the air working for the future. Tree roads. Be aware of high-risk areas where farm equipment will be in heavy use. Remember, our area farmers are a vital asset to our community. Without their hard work, national trade would be virtually impossible. This message from Agribusiness Incorporated in Fort Collins, always looking out for the safety of our community. For more information, call 221-2607. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be steel to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto, or while incurring the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
So if you hear me say the Palestinian mommies drink blood, it's not me saying it, it's the Palestinians themselves. I just want to make that clear. Now, when I was growing up here in America, I was taught that all lives matter. Human life in general matters. Well, I guess I'm a dinosaur because now in the 21st centuries, it's not that all lives matter. Apparently, according to some people, only black lives matter. And if you disagree with that, you're a racist. You get the idea that I'm not enjoying the 21st century as much as I otherwise might have. TruthRevolt.org. If you haven't been there, shame, shame, you should go there. Here's the guy who makes it happen, Ben Shapiro, talking about Black Lives Matter. Here we go.
The Black Lives Matter
My friends, that's what the truth sounds like. You don't get very much of it outside of the show, so I figured I'd give you a sample. That's what the truth sounds like. That's the truth. You can go on YouTube, watch it yourself, listen to it, share it. I like Ben Shapiro. Item from express.co, the London Express, I think. You might think this would be great news for all those scientists who've been warning us over the last few years about the impending horrors of man-made global warming, but in fact, they're not happy about it, not one bit. Here, for example, is Dr. Jay Zwally, the lead author of this week's surprising NASA study that confirms that the Antarctic is gaining far more ice than it's losing. Quote, I know some of the climate deniers will jump on this and say this means we don't have to worry as much as some people have been making out. I should not take away from that concern about climate warming, unquote. Does that sound to you like a neutral scientific opinion? Do you sense any relief at the good news that the climate apocalypse of melting ice caps and rising sea levels may not be quite so imminent after all? No, me neither, unquote. My friends, if you want to see someone with an expression on his face like he just sat in pudding, look at a scientist who does real research about so-called man-made climate change. He'll always have a pissy, unhappy look on his face. Why? Because he's torn. On the one hand, the numbers are undeniable, and as a scientist, he is trained to seek out the truth. On the other hand, if he goes with the truth, he's not going to make very much money because all the money goes to funding crap research saying that, yes, there's man-made global warming. So he's pulled one way and another. He'd like to be dishonest, but he can't really be and maintain his credibility, yet he's got that money dangling in front of him from the federal government and from other organizations, and so he's basically a pathetic mess. Instead of being dedicated to the truth as he should be, he wants money. And money is the diametric opposite, many times, of truth. Item from Breitbart. More than 81,000 unaccompanied minors have been released to sponsors inside the United States over the last 2 years, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. The U.S.-Mexico border has experienced a surge in unaccompanied minors entering the country illegally over the past couple of years. As the HHS data reveals, most of these unaccompanied minors have been relocated to states around the U.S. Unquote. Question, why haven't they been relocated to, I don't know, off the top of my head, Mexico? Why have they been kept here? What the hell's going on? What kind of shell game is this? If someone comes here illegally, they should be deported. Where does the logic break down? The logic breaks down because the major corporations want Mexicans here because they work for nothing. The Democrats want Mexicans here because they work hardly at all and want welfare, which makes them Democratic voters. We'll be back with more Riell Truth, my friends. Stay tuned. All right, guys, the week is done. I'm finished. I'm going off the air. I'll be posting this. Listen, spend this weekend profitably. Not sitting on the couch watching football. Go online, research all the major issues that are facing America because we are in desperate straits. We need an educated populace. The more you know, never, ever vote for something like Hillary Clinton. I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.